Hey, what's going on, guys? Indy here with Ultimate Tool Reviews. We have a new tool from Huepar. This, of course, is a new laser measure. This is going to be the SW-150GQ with a camera, too. Interesting. We have Bluetooth on here, IPS color screen. We got a built-in lithium-ion battery, so this is pretty sweet. Let's take a look at this thing, pop it open. All right, first off, I love the hard cases. Not really a hard case, more like a soft, rigid, semi-rigid case here. But of course, I love when we have the cases. It's always a nice thing to see, of course. All right, we have blank card. Okay, interesting. All right, let's pop this thing open. Of course, we have a USB-C cable as predictable, which is very common. It has definitely a nice little shell on this thing here. Right out of the box, looking pretty cool. Of course, Type-C is rechargeable down here. Looks like a really nice build quality here out of the box. Awesome. Steel number, of course, on here. Let's see here, SW-150GQ. We have, of course, a laser beam class 2. That is awesome. And yeah, I like the case overall. Feels like a nice, rugged, durable. It's definitely got like that kind of, that nice kind of soft, hard, like medium, I guess medium you could say, kind of that grippy material to it, that grippy plastic rubberized stuff. So yeah, it definitely feels really good quality. Let's pop this thing on here. All right, so just had to give it a quick charge. We are now on full battery. Of course, guys, there's a bunch of options you can do. If you just want to use this as like a regular, laser level or laser measure, you can do it, of course. So we just hit turn on. You're then going to, of course, see that laser. It's going to shine up here. I'll just shine on the back wall here. See what we're going to get here. There we go. 26.4 inches from here to the red back wall there. Of course, you can do the more complicated ones where you can do, find the distance between any 2 points you can find. You can triangulate, of course, calculate volume as well, too. So there's a lot of cool things you can do with this laser measure that, of course, is going to be super useful. Only, of course, downside with these laser measures is if you have any, very reflective surfaces like mirrors, certain types of metals like aluminum, things like that, can sometimes give an inaccurate measurement because you, of course, get a bit of too much reflectiveness on that. And, of course, that can cause an issue there. But let's go through the menu now here and see what we've got in the menu here. All right, so we can scroll on down, change our unit measurement. We're currently in inches right now, which you can, of course, change that to whatever you need. This is actually my favorite adjustment here. So it's telling you where the adjustment is actually, where the measurement is actually coming from. So do you want it at either the front of the measure? Do you want this at slightly back, or do you want this from the all the way back on the laser measure? This is actually a nice adjustment to actually have. And this thing's actually got a really nice, big, clear to read screen here too. This is actually awesome. Let's see what else we've got in here to do. Of course, unit measurements in here. We can do different types of stuff there. Turn off the volume too, which is cool. Bluetooth on or off. We have our automatic timeout here. When the screen dims, to, of course, save battery. But again, these things really have a good amount of battery life on them anyways, so I'm not really too concerned unless you're using this thing like all day, every day. But last thing is you can charge this thing in your truck super easy with that USB Type-C. Not worrying about having extra AA's, AAA batteries with you, which is always nice to see. Let's do a couple other measurements, guys, and see how this thing works. Let's do some longer ones too, actually. We're going from here to the back wall, so we got to turn the laser on. There we go. We're going to shine that at the back wall there. Nice, I can actually see that. You can see that on camera. Awesome. There we go. We are 256.1 inches away from the back wall. That's pretty sweet. Let's make a quick change here and let's adjust this to, say, let's go feet here. Let's make that adjustment to feet. There's feet. Nice. Now let's check out what that is. Laser is on. There we go, 21.30 feet. Just like that, that's pretty awesome. Let's do something even longer though. Okay, a little bit more of a challenge here. We're gonna be in a bit of sunlight. We are gonna be trying to measure from here to that tree out there in the distance. So a little more of a challenge, not a perfect surface here, but that's what I want to test it on to see if this actually works. All right. Yeah, I can see the laser on the tree over there. It's not ultra clear, but look at that, 73.48 feet. That's pretty awesome. You can't really see the laser on camera. I mean, let me try turning it on again. I can definitely see it Yeah, I can definitely see it in person, but man, on camera, yeah, you can't see that on person at all. So that's kind of fun. Let's try that one more time here. Try to see it on camera. Yeah, I can see it in person, but yeah, it's just not showing up on camera there. But yeah, Huepar did actually a pretty good job with the thing. It's a good, nice, fits in the size of your hand, size. I like that a lot. I do like that it's got a nice, big, easy to read screen. A lot of these other laser measures really have just a terribly small screen. Not enough buttons on here to really do all this stuff. I've got some of the smaller, like DeWalt ones, and yeah, they can get a little tricky. They're cool to, like, you have and you make a quick measurement, they're fun, but this thing is a really pro, serious one if you really know how to make some good measurements here. Of course, you got the user manual if you want to do some more complicated stuff. You can do all the crazy, more complicated measurements you can, but you just need something to just quickly, grab a laser and make a measurement. Bam, there you go. This thing just does it. It's simple, it works. That's what you want. No need to worry about batteries or anything too. You can charge this thing via USB-C. This thing has it made. So guys, I'll put a link in the description, guys. You want to check it out. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care. Stay safe out there.